All right, man, let's get it. Chillin' Scares with another video. 4 missing persons found alive on the video, man. Oh, this is sickening. But here we are.
On May 8, 2021, a woman named Malie Perales was driving down the Packer Drive Northeast Road alongside the Rogue River in Belmont, Michigan. She and her 2 roommates were on their way back after a night out, and they were all in a cheerful mood. However, their smiles quickly vanished as they...
AKA real junkie, real giddy. Probably about to call some niggas over to do a little, you know what I'm saying? A little 3-way phone call.
Stumbled onto a horrifying scene. At around 2:30 a.m., while driving near the Rogue Hollow Court, one of the passengers spotted a strange figure lurking by the side of the road. This encounter was extremely terrifying, but it also sparked the group's curiosity. And after some deliberation, they decided to turn around, and this is what they then came across.
What the?
No.
Stop.
Whoa!
No.
What the?
From deliberation, they decided to turn around, and this is what they then came across.
What the?
Oh my God. Where is this thing's legs? A kid at my school hid himself in the woods. Oh, yesterday? Oh my goodness, bro.
No,
Stop.
I'm not. No.
Yo.
Hell no.
What the?
And who just said stop? Who just said stop? Damn, Goober, what the hell's wrong with you? Stop. What the fuck you stopping for?
What the?
No,
Stop.
I'm not. No.
Right.
What the?
Oh.
They were soaked.
They saw what looked like a young woman drenched from head to toe as if she had just crawled out of the nearby river. She also looked like she was crying,
Oh my
banging her head
gosh.
on the road and waving for help. Malie posted the video of this encounter on TikTok, and it instantly went viral, leading people to come up with all sorts of far-fetched theories about ghosts, spirits, etc. However, as wild as the theories got, Malie later posted several videos shutting them down and revealing what really happened. According to her, they kept circling back and driving past the disturbed
Oh my
woman
God.
several times after recording the first video to make sure she was okay. While none of them had the nerve to get out of the car and approach her, they did
Lord.
call the cops and waited nearby until help arrived. The woman was then taken to a nearby hospital where she was treated for cold exposure. As it turns out, she somehow fell into the Rogue River from the east side and swam across it onto the road.
What the hell?
Yep, she had to have come up out of the water. Yep, there's a dig spot there. So she came up from down there. That's had to have been why she was so wet.
What was the water?
This was the spot that she had left. I don't know why or what was going on.
After regaining some composure, she also revealed that the woman was from Kalamazoo, a town that's
Oh.
over 60 miles from where she was found. However, she
Kalamazoo.
had no recollection of how she got to Belmont and fell in a river so far away from home. From what we know, she was most likely experiencing a severe mental break, where her memory gap was caused by a rare condition known as fugue state, something we covered in our previous video on the most disturbing mental disorders. For those who don't know, a fugue state is a rare condition where a person suddenly loses their memory and starts acting like someone else. They might wander off, travel long distances, or do things completely out of character without realizing anything is wrong. It's usually triggered by extreme stress or trauma.
So a mixture between like schizophrenia and BPD and psychosis and split personality disorder. All of that into one. Damn.
And once it's over, the person often has no memory of what happened. And while this condition is
Oh, and like paralysis. Like sleep paralysis, but they're quote unquote awake, but in a different state. But that's too different of a state.
quite rare, all the signs suggest that's exactly what happened to this mysterious woman from Kalamazoo, especially since the authorities later found her car parked behind a random house just east of the river.
Oh my
She likely
gosh.
drove to that neighborhood on her own, but had zero memory of doing so, which fits perfectly with the known symptoms of
Or she had somebody else drive her, park the car there, you know.
fugue state. Malie also shared her video in a local Facebook group, hoping to find more answers about what went down. Unfortunately, the responses she received weren't as helpful as she'd hoped, since most people in the neighborhood believe the screaming and noises were just the sounds of a wild animal, like a coyote. But there were a few responses that deepened the mystery. Like this one person who remembered meeting her earlier that same night, stating, "Saw this person between Van Dam and Packer Woods around 10:15 p.m. Friday. Asked her if she needed help, to which she responded no." Another person also mentioned hearing about a woman walking into his neighbor's house, yelling hello 3 times and then leaving on her own. And while this added
So there was nobody else, possibly, allegedly. It was on her own accord.
further evidence supporting the fugue state theory, these responses still left a key question unanswered. Who was she? Malie tried to contact both the police and the hospital for answers, but despite her insistence, both the police officers and the hospital staff refused to reveal her real name.
Are you
That
serious?
said, we still have enough information to make an educated guess. Based on everything I could uncover, the mysterious woman in this unsettling video was most likely Mei Zhou.
Whoa!
She was a 28-year-old Chinese woman who went missing from Kalamazoo on May 6, 2021. Before her disappearance, she told her friends that she felt like she was being followed by a stalker she met online.
Aw, shit.
Unfortunately, these are the only details about her case that were made public.
Aw,
I couldn't
shit.
find any clear answers on whether the stalker was real or if she was just overwhelmed by paranoia. In either case, the constant fear and stress of feeling watched likely drove her to slip into some variation of the fugue state we discussed earlier. Hopefully, she received the mental help she desperately needed and is now in a better mental state than she once was.
Wow.
Tracking down a missing person can be an extremely
Thank you so much,
work to
though.
remove your-
Thank you so much, though.
link. In June of 2024, streamer Lacey and his friend Clicks were doing an IRL
Lord.
live stream in Miami, Florida. The two were simply going around town and having fun. What they didn't realize was that this stream would end up saving someone's life. It happened a few hours into the stream when they sat down at the Starlight Hotel Cafe for lunch. As they waited to order, a guy walked up to their table wearing nothing but neon green shorts. Lacey and Clicks initially assumed he was just another fan eager to talk to his favorite streamers, a pretty typical scenario for popular IRL streamers. But something about this young man didn't sit right. He was trying to keep a conversation going, but his words were slurred and nothing he said really made sense.
Are you sparring? Yo, you good, bro?
And he looked non-nutritious, too.
Sense.
Are you sparring, bro? Are you sparring? Yo, you good, bro?
Are we sparring?
The streamers figured he was either drunk or on some kind of drugs. For content, they started
Y'all
poking
seen
fun
this?
at him a bit before shifting their focus back to their stream. But the guy continued to linger around, acting very odd and saying unintelligible sentences for the next half hour or so before finally leaving them for good. The streamers simply labeled it as an odd interaction from someone under the influence of something or another and continued on with their stream. Lacey
I'm gonna keep watching.
later uploaded an edited down version of this stream on his YouTube channel. And that's when he got an email that made him realize the significance of what they had
Is this in the video? If y'all, some of y'all know, YouTube, if y'all know, is them meeting Green Trunks in the video too, or they edited that out, and the clip was just on Twitter and stuff?
just caught on camera. 2 days after this video went up, Lacey received an email from a man named Trent claiming to be the brother of the guy seen in green shorts. It read, "Hello, my name is Trent Coleman, and my missing little brother from Michigan was on Clicks and Lacey's stream in Miami. He was wearing green shorts and they were making fun of him. He is not on drugs, he is schizophrenic, and he is 17 years old. If someone can contact me about this, I would be so thankful. He has been missing for 3 months, and his case was put on homicide in Michigan."
What the fuck? So how did he get there?
Most cases, emails like these are just trolls trying to mess with creators. However, after some research, Lacey discovered that Trent was actually telling the truth and posted this new development on Twitter stating, "3 months ago, a 17-year-old kid went missing and was put on homicide. Yesterday on stream, he came up to me and Clicks, and now his family knows he is alive and in Miami. I wasn't sure if I should make this public, but I'm hoping somehow this helps him be found for his family." In a reply to his tweet, Lacey also attached an article that provided additional details about the case. Apparently, the teenager's name was Troy Coleman, and he had been missing from his home in Michigan since May of 2024. According to the article, Troy was last seen in Mount Morris Township around 9:30 a.m. on May 17th. In the 3 months since his disappearance, he had somehow traveled from Michigan all the way to Miami with
Somehow, stop it. Stop it. He got kidnapped. He got drugged and got kidnapped. Stop it. Stop it.
no medication, no money, and
Stop
no clear
it.
explanation of how he got there.
Stop
this
it.
was extremely concerning, considering Troy's lack of vital medication for his schizophrenia was known to cause serious hallucinations. His sudden reappearance only deepened the mystery. With no leads and no logical explanation, Michigan police were left so baffled that they even began investigating his case as a potential homicide. So, the fact that Troy randomly appeared on Lacey and Clix's stream, and his brother just so happened to be watching that stream, was nothing short of a
I wonder what the hell his brother was. I wonder what the hell his brother was thinking. Wi-Fi messing up? No, it ain't me. Yo. Ain't me, cuz. Yo. Can y'all hear? Yo. Yo. Yeah, it ain't me, cuz.
miracle. But somehow the coincidences keep piling up. And
Refresh
what
or
happened
something,
next made
refresh.
The whole situation even stranger. While Troy was still on stream, another young fan approached the two streamers and tried to strike up a conversation. However, before he could even introduce himself, Troy interrupted them again and started saying something to the younger fan. He was still talking incoherently, which made the streamers even more uncomfortable and confused about his intentions. During this time, he also gave the younger fan the styrofoam cup he was holding. The young boy quickly took a sip of whatever was in the cup.
No, and no, man. Oh, wow. That's what you never do. Trying to be down, trying to be cool. See, oh man. Come on, little bro.
Fan the styrofoam cup he was holding.
No.
The young boy quickly took a sip of whatever was in the cup and walked
No.
away. Lacey's cameraman noticed the exchange and immediately pointed it out to the streamer.
'Cause that's-
By now they were convinced that Troy was on drugs, and that raised a serious concern. Had he just given the kid something laced? Not wanting to ignore it, Lacey decided to confront Troy, asking him directly what was in the cup. But to their surprise, Troy's answer was a lot more coherent than expected. He simply stated that it was just a soft drink from Beacon Hotel.
What was in the drink?
Kidding.
What was in that drink?
In the drink?
Yeah. You gave it to
It
him.
was Coke from Beacon Hotel.
Like Coca-Cola?
Oh no, he's possessed. Yeah, he looked different. Yeah, in the missing pic, he had black hair. And now being in Miami, when it's summer, 12 months out the year, you know, he'd probably sleep on the beach.
I gave it to a kid.
This
Gave it to a
coincidental
kid 'cause I
interaction
didn't
gave
want
authorities
it.
the crucial lead they needed. Troy was, in fact, staying at the very hotel he had mentioned. From there,
How when he has no money, no family? Because his handlers also stay in this hotel, or they have their prospects in this hotel and they stay in a goddamn condo somewhere where they can, bruh, this man.
it didn't take long for investigators to track down Troy and find him with his
Damn.
family, who were overjoyed to have him back. In a later interview with People.com, Troy's father, Weston Coleman, shared even more heartbreaking details of what Troy went through. According to him, Troy actually wanted to visit Florida to find and meet celebrities.
What?
He did his research online and saved up as much money as he could before setting off. Troy made it to Atlanta by bus, but that's when things took a turn for the worst. During his stay in Atlanta, he was robbed of everything he had. Left with nothing, he traveled the rest of the way to Miami completely broke.
Wow.
Despite the hardship, his family was ultimately glad that he was still alive and well, with his father stating, "I'm just glad he's alive at this point and now can't believe we found him. We all feel a lot better and we thank everybody." From what I can find, Troy's been living with his
You should keep freezing. It might be Twitch. It ain't me. It might be Twitch.
family in Michigan
Well, it
ever
gotta be
since,
Twitch.
and has managed to stay out of any more trouble. On August 3, 2013, 40-year-old James DiMaggio invited family friend Christina Anderson and her two kids, 8-year-old Ethan and 16-year-old Hannah, over to his home in Boulevard, California. He claimed it was just
Nah,
a
my shit
farewell
good.
visit before moving to Texas. And this wasn't anything unusual. James had been a close friend with both Christina and her husband Brett for quite some time, and was like an uncle to the kids. And since Brett was away for a 3-month job in Tennessee, James helped the family regularly with things like driving Hannah to and from her gymnastics class. However, what seemed like an innocent invitation quickly turned into a horrifying nightmare. It started on August 4 when the children's grandparents called the police and reported the family as missing after not hearing from Christina all day. They also informed the police about the family's plan to visit James. However, when investigators reached James's home, it was already engulfed in flames.
Damn.
Firefighters rushed to the scene and suppressed the fire. Unfortunately, they were too late. Inside the burnt house, they discovered the bodies of Christina Anderson, her son Ethan, and even the family dog. And while this could have been nothing more than a tragic accident, the reality was far more cruel. Later autopsy discovered severe injuries on Christina. These included signs of plastic cable ties around her ankle and arms, duct tape marks around her neck and mouth, multiple fractures in her right arm and both legs, a cut on her neck, and signs of at least 12 heavy strikes to the head.
Damn!
Her 8-year-old son Ethan also had multiple fractures throughout his body. However, despite the horrific scene, there were no signs of James or Hannah anywhere near the house. It didn't take long for investigators to connect the dots and realize that James DiMaggio was the mastermind behind this horrific crime. It also became clear that he had orchestrated the murders not just out of violence, but with the intent to kidnap Hannah. His actions were calculated and driven by some twisted obsession as he took her from everything she had.
And there goes Johnny Appleseed. How worse of timing could that have been, huh? God damn, Johnny.
Life. After learning about this, the police quickly issued a
What's
statewide
up, my
Amber
bro?
Alert in hopes of getting any information regarding James and missing Hannah's whereabouts.
Yeah, and then they go 40 and try to kidnap a 6.
In the meantime, investigators also discovered security footage of James passing through the Border Patrol
yeah,
checkpoint
Joshua,
in
I mean,
Pine
not
Valley
Johnny,
at around
Joshua.
10 p.m. This also prompted them to launch a
Joshua.
massive manhunt spanning the entire Pacific coast from British Columbia to Baja California. However, despite the massive effort and the hundreds of man-hours put into the search, the manhunt turned up empty. Every lead seemed to result in a dead end, and the odds of successfully rescuing Hannah started to dwindle with every passing day. Things looked bleak. That is, until 3 days later when 2 horseback riders spotted a man and a girl while trekking through the remote wilderness of Cascade, Idaho. They had seen the broadcast of Hannah's disappearance on TV and instantly recognized the young girl and her captor. They reported the sighting to authorities, who instantly began investigating the area, and soon after they found James's car with its plates removed to avoid detection. However, it still took them 3 more days to track down the campsite James was hiding in. The FBI had set up a jet with a sophisticated long-range camera recording from thousands of feet above, which is what you're seeing now. This footage confirmed they had found the missing Hannah.
Wow.
On the 10th of August, the FBI took it upon itself to rescue Hannah and mobilized a tactical team for the mission. They kept eyes on James for some time, looking for the right moment to attack. However, he was sticking close to Hannah, which made it near impossible for the rescue team to make their move. Fortunately, after some time, James moved away to gather some firewood. And while he was completely oblivious, Hannah actually spotted a rescue helicopter.
Josh, thanks for the hug, my brother. What's up with you, man?
This was the perfect opportunity, and the FBI didn't let it go to waste. They quickly moved in and carried Hannah to safety. After noticing the rescue mission, James took out one of the guns he had with him and fired at an officer. The rescue team then returned fire, resulting in him getting shot 6 times in the head, arms, and upper torso.
Damn!
Hannah was finally safe. And while this was one of the most terrifying experiences a teenage girl can have, Hannah's managed to completely bounce back. She is now 27 years old and is happily living with her husband and 1-year-old son in Vancouver, Canada.
In Canada. Look at that.
On the 27th of May 2013, at around 4 p.m., 73-year-old Robert McDonough disappeared from his home in Portland, Maine. Now, an elderly person going missing is extremely stressful on its own. However, what made Robert's situation even more dire was the fact that he was also suffering from dementia. For those who don't know, dementia is a mental condition which makes it difficult to remember things, think clearly, or even recognize familiar faces.
If you got dementia, you're just a
Can forget
diabetic.
everything from their own names to the faces of loved ones, leaving them confused about where they are or how they got there. This can also extend to forgetting where they live. For someone with dementia, wandering outside can quickly turn from a harmless mistake to a life-threatening situation. A person with memory loss isn't just lost in terms of direction, they're lost in terms of identity and awareness. They forget how to care for themselves, how to recognize danger, and how to make decisions in an increasingly hostile world.
Wow.
These conditions could prove to be lethal for a healthy young adult, and the danger is increased tenfold for a frail elderly man trying to navigate a world that no longer makes sense to him. He could have easily wandered into traffic or tripped and fallen in a remote area, and no one would have known.
That's
Put
sad.
simply, Robert's life was in extreme danger. This is also why the authorities moved quickly after receiving the missing report and began searching every corner of the city within hours of his disappearance.
Search and rescue teams spent more than 14 hours searching an area of Leamington after 73-year-old Robert McDonough, who has dementia, disappeared Monday afternoon. Around 6 a.m., search teams were briefed and started to intensify their effort.
It was going into the second operational period, which means we're starting to ramp up, using a lot of GPS technology. Well, again, we'd have our pilots, we'd have ATVs, canines.
However, they were having a hard time figuring out where Robert could have gone. When someone with dementia goes missing, searching for them is not like searching for someone who's just wandered off. In most cases, they don't even realize they're lost at all. They might walk aimlessly or even retrace the same steps without ever reaching familiar ground. Their confusion can send them in any direction, far from where they should be. But then, about 14 hours into the search, something happened that no one saw coming. On May 28 at 6:30 a.m., a reporter from Portland's local network was recording a section about the disappearance of Robert on the street, when, out of nowhere, an old man walked into the frame.
Oh my God. What the fuck? Wow. And look at him. Look at his bald ass. Pay
At
attention.
first, the reporter brushed him off as just another bystander. But after a few moments, he suddenly realized who the elderly man was. This was...
I fired him. I fired him. If I was the manager at News 8, that's your last day. And the buddy you were with, who's hooking up the camera, who could see before you can. Big Baldy. That's his last day. Setting up this goddamn microphone and shit. Look at this nigga.
At first, the reporter brushed him off as just another bystander. But after a few moments, he suddenly realized who the elderly man was. This was Robert McDonough, or Bob as he went by, the man everyone was looking for.
Anybody give a phone call? I'm calling the warden service there at the Farmington. This is Bob. This is you identify him as Bob McDonough?
I think so. It's Bob McDonough. Yeah. He looks a lot like a
Watch
guy.
yourself.
Yeah. That's Bob McDonough.
Fortunately, he was completely unharmed, despite being out in the cold all night. Upon realizing his identity, the news crew immediately contacted the authorities. And it wasn't long before Robert was reunited with his family. But here's the thing. Robert returning like this was nothing more than a stroke of good luck. While his story had a somewhat happy ending, it could have just as easily turned into an irreparable loss.
That is true, man. Oh my goodness. Come on, Robbie, Ricky, Bobby. Sheesh, man.